What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Toma Todito Boxing Show. We are live from the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona once again, and we are just seconds away. I don't know if you guys could hear in the background. They're introducing Jackson Marinez and Lindolfo Delgado. 3 fights left, this one about to kick off, and then we get into the co-main event between Robesi and Divino Espinosa. And then the main event, Oscar Valdez and Navarrete, the big rematch. Both of those big matches are rematches. Now, this one is a very interesting one because of Lindolfo Delgado, his ascension in the 140-pound division, undefeated fighter who is waiting for his title shot. His stablemate or promotion stablemate would be Teofimo Lopez. That should be an easy fight to make if he's able to look impressive here tonight. Other than that, he's basically in a similar position as Arnold Barboza, who just recently defeated veteran Jose Ramirez. Listen to that, there he is. Fight's about to get underway. Looks like there's a small version title on the line for this matchup. Very, very interesting. Lindolfo Delgado being trained by Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia, 5 fighters tonight. And so far, it looks like he's going for the clean. He's about to pull off a clean sweep. His fighter's just looking great, firing on all cylinders. Right before this one kicks off here, bell's about to ring. Jackson Marinez, don't overlook this guy. Lindolfo Delgado, obviously the favorite for this, but Jackson Marinez had 3 straight losses, and now he's coming off of 3 straight wins. His 3 straight losses came at the hands of Frank Martin, Richard Comey, and Rolly Romero, and then he's got 3 straight wins against lesser named opposition. Nonetheless, he's on a win streak right now and has the experience of facing top caliber opposition. So here we go. Bell has rung. Fight is underway. Both fighters in the center of the ring. Lindolfo Delgado starting to gauge his distance with the left jab. Jackson Marinez returning the left jab. First rounds often tend to be the feel-out round. So far, not too much action, but they're not hesitant. Both of them right off the bat meeting one another in the center of the ring and just exchanging jabs at the moment, feeling out the distance, seeing what the other has to offer, seeing how the other reacts. Like I said, Lindolfo Delgado is the favorite to win this fight. Jackson Marinez, a Dominican fighter, very elusive footwork so far. Looks like he's got quick feet under him. Lindolfo Delgado more flat-footed, wide stance, walking Jackson Marinez back. So we'll see how that plays out in the fight. Jackson Marinez, if he's going to be able to fight on his the entirety of the fight on his back foot. Not many fighters could do that. We're about 1:15 left, about to approach the last minute of the round. So far, Lindolfo Delgado starting to loosen up a little bit. Jab, jab, followed with a right straight. Warming up fairly good. Something interesting, I'm looking at the fighters, both fighters fairly dry. Which is odd. They usually warm up in the back. They usually show up a little bit shined up, right? Which means that they break a sweat. They warm up in the back, but both of them look fairly dry for me. 30 seconds left in the round. Lindolfo Delgado opening up a bit more. Jackson Marinez taking the role of the counter puncher. So far, nothing has landed for Marinez of note. Lindolfo Delgado, there you go. Jackson Marinez just landed a nice right punch to the chin of Lindolfo Delgado. Other than that, Lindolfo Delgado should have this round in the bag. 10 seconds left. And that's the end. It looks like I would give that to Lindolfo Delgado. Pretty solid work. He opened up. He started landing some good punches. 3 punches is what I counted for Jackson Marinez, with the most impressive being that right hook, that little rabbit type right hand punch that he just landed on the chin. What a hell of a scene. I didn't think it was going to be a sellout crowd. It's a sellout crowd for the amount of seats that opened up. The nosebleeds are not. There's nosebleeds up, but only on the sides of the arena. Not the entire arena is up, but what is available is filled. Doesn't look like an empty seat in the house. Very, very impressive. It looks like it definitely picked up in the last week or so is when the majority of the tickets started selling for this event, and the majority of the attention started picking up for this event. Here we go, round 2. Jackson Marinez covers ground quick, starts taking the action to Lindolfo Delgado. Lindolfo on the defensive. Very solid fighter. Heavy Mexican national amateur background for Lindolfo Delgado. Part of the Mexican national team. Very decorated amateur boxer with good pedigree, good level fighting, and there's a lot of promise behind him. A lot of high expectations and a lot of promise behind him. So far, to give you a recap of earlier in the night, we got Giovanni Santillán, who suffered that knockout loss to Brian Norman earlier this year. He is back on the up and up. He stopped Frederick Lawson, a former opponent of Virgil Ortiz and a former opponent of Alexis Rocha. I actually got an interview with Giovanni Santillán yesterday, and it should be up on the YouTube channel as well. Check those out. I got Shushu Carrington as well. And listen, one thing is for sure, those of you that know me know that I jumped at this with very little experience. Those of you that have been following the show since its inception for the last 3-4 years, you guys know that I'm doing my absolute best to bring you guys the best content possible, the best interviews, and so a lot of it I end up fumbling, right? You guys have heard me in past episodes. I've fumbled interviews where I wasn't prepared, or I had sound issues, or I had camera issues. Well, that's the case with yesterday, where that's going to be the case with yesterday as far as the camera footage. I had no idea that my lighting was completely off, so you're going to notice those videos being a little bit on the darker end, but you'll see you'll notice the videos. Great content, great conversations that I had. Shushu Carrington, Giovanni Santillán, I mean, you name it. There's been great interviews on there. I got Oscar Valdez post weigh-ins, and very, very, very interesting. We got Teofimo Lopez's dad just walking right in front of me, and that's why I paused a little bit. So that was interesting. Let's get back into the action. Lindolfo Delgado so far, 18 seconds left in this round. Not much action. That's why you heard me rambling a bit. Not much action going on. Both fighters being very defensive, kind of trying to meet, and now they're hesitant. Lindolfo's throwing some good combinations here to close out the round. Jackson Marinez taking the role of the counterpuncher, sticking and moving, trying to frustrate Lindolfo Delgado, but not much happened in that second round. Very, very interesting. A big crowd out here. Shushu Carrington, who I got to talk to yesterday, I got a brief conversation with Yordeni Zugas and William Skoll, who crowned himself the new super middleweight champion with that vacant IBF that they stripped Canelo from. So I got to catch up to him real quick. They're in the house for Robesi Ramirez, Keyshawn Davis here, Shushu Carrington, part of the commentary crew. Teofimo Lopez obviously here. He's training with Eddie Reynoso, and he's in the house. Like I just said, his dad was just in front of me, and it took my attention away slightly, but here we are. Great event. I owe this all to you guys, right? The doors are opening because of you guys, and what a time, what an experience that I'm having with this podcast and with the show overall. So here we go, round 3, getting underway. Lindolfo Delgado looking a little bit frustrated. Taking the action to Jackson Marinez, starting to move forward. He covered ground quick. Nice follow-up punch, landed a straight jab to the forehead and followed it with the left hook. Both punches landed flush. Both of these fighters have met in the center of the ring. Obliging one another, engaging one another. There's not much chasing going around. Marinez has fought on the back foot the majority of the fight. You hear the crowd reacting there. Lindolfo Delgado just landed another left hook to Jackson Marinez, and they're landing flush. Marinez doesn't have the greatest defense, but he's got pretty good footwork and decent speed on his hands as well. He's just not able to land anything of note so far. Lindolfo trying to get in with the jab, trying to create his openings with that jab and cover ground. You hear the crowd there. A lot of people starting to get frustrated with this, but Lindolfo Delgado trying to do his work. Jackson Marinez trying to be more of an elusive defensive fighter right now, fighting on his back foot, like I said, but keeping his gloves down by his wayside and evading punches. One minute and 15 seconds left in this third round. Lindolfo Delgado rushing in. Pitter-patter by Jackson Marinez as he finds his back against the ropes. Lindolfo Delgado trying to press him, but unable to cut him off. There he goes. Ooh. Lindolfo Delgado has Jackson Marinez against the ropes. Jackson Marinez sitting on the second strand, nearly getting into a risk or falling into a risk of falling out of the ring. He managed to recover and encircle the ring away from Lindolfo Delgado. Interesting matchup because now that these fighters have started to break a sweat and breaking into the fight, Lindolfo Delgado's pressing the action, and Jackson Marinez is almost going out of his way to frustrate him, to not engage, waiting to close out the rounds or steal the rounds. Now Jackson Marinez is starting to throw as there's 10 seconds left. But more of the defensive stance. He's trying to tire out and frustrate Lindolfo Delgado, and it seems to be working. Lindolfo pressing the action, but not much. Not much otherwise. What a scene. What a scene out here. This is one that I'm almost, I love the fact that they opened the doors. And I'll give you the little story here. I showed up. I didn't have full access, thinking that yesterday was going to be the access that I received for the weigh-ins, and I received an email at 2 in the morning. So think about it. If you're watching these fights right now, it's about 6, 7 o'clock at night, at least Arizona time. I received an email at 2 in the morning that they had one seat available, and if I was interested in it, that they would give it to me to cover this fight. And of course, I jumped at the opportunity. I responded, and it took me about maybe 3 hours to get here, drive time. But we made it. When they opened the doors, I'm going to do it. And obviously, it's for you guys, right? As the show continues to grow and the doors continue to open, I'm going to continue making the effort to bring you guys some good content. People getting frustrated, as you could hear them. I'm not sure if you guys could hear them or not, but front row, just adjacent to me, they're screaming. They're frustrated with the fight because there's very little action, not much promise. There we go. You hear the reaction of the crowd. Lindolfo Delgado with 2 straight rights that just swivel the neck of Jackson Marinez, but he recovers. What a hell of a chin on Marinez. And like I said, 3 losses, to three really good fighters. Frank Martin, who just fought Tank earlier this year, lost his perfect record there. And then Rolly Romero and Richard Comey, two former champions themselves, former world champions. So Jackson Marinez, although he lost all three of those opponents, has very, very good experience and a good resume at that because of his opposition. And here he is. He's holding his own against Lindolfo Delgado. Lindolfo just looks wide. And I remember when I didn't get a chance to interview him yesterday. We'll see if I could get to him today, but I remember when I talked to him that he mentioned how hard the weight cuts were getting for him, and he's a big guy. I mean, he looks like a 154 pounder in there. If maybe that's an exaggeration, then for sure he's looking like a welterweight in there. But he's a solid dude, definitely big for this 140 pound division. Interesting fight that's playing out here. Round 4. Just under a minute left. Lindolfo just can't find him, but he manages to have a little action here and there, but he just can't land that combination. He's looking for it. He just swung and missed the huge right hand uppercut that just whizzed right by Jackson Marinez's left ear. He's getting close. He's inching closer to landing something big. He's starting to cut him off really good. Jackson Marinez's legs are starting to leave him. And there goes Delgado landing some amazing punches on the corner as the referee separates him. Marinez takes advantage of the clinch. Catches his breath. And he gets away. He continues to scurry away and get away from Lindolfo Delgado. He's inching. He's getting close. There goes Robesi Ramirez on the screen. 14-2 record with 9 knockouts, trying to get his title back after he relinquished it by decision at the hands of Divino Espinosa a year ago, December of last year. Here they go, ready to run it back. So DJ Zamora, Demler Zamora, successful earlier today, and there's a lot of hype. If you don't know who Demler Zamora is, there's a lot of hype for Demler out of Las Vegas, who has trained with the likes of Tank and trained with Mayweather and trained with Shakur, Devin Haney, you name it, from a very, very young age. Very, very young age, he's been able to train alongside some of the greats. And is now 15-0, pulled off a stoppage win today, got this 10th knockout of his career. I got to interview him yesterday. Very, very, very interesting career that he's putting together. He campaigns at 130 pounds. And he's definitely going to be a future star. Here we go, 5th round, 2-minute mark. Lindolfo Delgado just landed a 3-punch combination to the head. First punch missed. Second right, and the follow-up left hook landed flush. Jackson Marinez is starting to get marked up quite a bit. Lindolfo Delgado is starting to let his hands go a lot more, but still can't find him. Marinez looked like he was starting to lose his legs a little bit as he got hit with a couple good body shots in the last round, but he's still moving around, very elusive, circling away from danger. Not throwing much, just basically taking the defensive role. Every so often he'll pitter-patter or throw something to stop Lindolfo, but nothing to hurt. Oh, there you go. Lindolfo Delgado drops Jackson Marinez. Great succession by Lindolfo Delgado. Great combination. 3-punch combination. Huge body shot with a follow-up left that sends Marinez to the canvas. There goes Lindolfo for the kill. Listen to that crowd. Huge right hand uppercut ends the night. 5th round, 42 seconds left on the clock. Lindolfo Delgado up on the corner and has brought Jackson Marinez to his knees and handed him the 4th defeat of his career. A lot of promise for Lindolfo Delgado. What a great way to close this fight. What a great showing by him. Coming off a crazy competitive fight that he found himself in his last outing. This is what he needed. He needed to send a message to the 140-pound division and cement himself as a who's who. Lindolfo Delgado and Arnold Barboza would be an amazing fight, but Lindolfo Delgado and Subriel Matias, Lindolfo Delgado and just about anybody at 140 he would give them headaches. Very solid fighter. And of course, we're talking about the 140-pound division where Liam Perro is defending his title, the same title he lifted from Subriel Matias. He's out in Puerto Rico defending his title against Richard St. Hitchens tonight. So as these fights are happening, Liam Perro is on the zone defending his title or putting his title on the line against Richard St. Hitchens out in Puerto Rico. And of course, we're going to try to keep tabs on that as well. So I'll follow up with you guys here shortly as we await the co-main event to start and then the main event, which both rematch fights. Robesi Ramirez trying to get his title back against Divino Espinosa, who has defended that title one time already earlier this year. And then Oscar Valdez and Navarrete unifying the WBO title. And for Oscar trying to run it back and avenge that defeat at the hands of Navarrete just over a year ago. Great win by Lindolfo Delgado. The arena erupted. 2 fights left on this card. I'll check you guys all out here in a few minutes' time. Take care.